real incident, let's say you execute this capes with this command where container was none. So now the problem that you guys will be facing is that you need to, let's say you need to copy this folder again to your lab system. It will be really little bit difficult. You need to, one of the best thing will be to kind of compress this as a zip file and then kind of save that in your lab environment. So that is something like it's a double work. You need to kind of zip the file and wait for that zip to kind of be successful and all. So what you can do is that rather than kind of getting the output as a folder wise, because it is really difficult to kind of copy each file one by one, or let's say each folder one by one. Okay, most of the time. Okay, so what we can do is that we can select these options like VHDX, VHT, or zip. Okay, so what it will do is that if we select the zip file, so it will not create the final output as something kind of a folder, but it will create a single zip file for you, which you can quickly copy to your lab system. And in that lab system, you can unzip it and we do certain analysis. So it will unzip in the similar format like the folder that you are seeing over here. So the other thing which can also be used is this option, which is actually very, very good. It's called VHDX. Okay. If you do that, so what will happen is it will actually, let's say, test one. So if you see another argument was added over here, which says VSDX test one. So it will actually create a virtual drive for you, Okay. So rather than keep preparing a zip, it will actually create a virtual drive for you, which you can then just click and mount that as a drive in your lab system. Okay. So this is a very, very important option, which is VHDX or VHD. Okay. So normally I would go for always selecting VHDX, because then what will happen is that the final folder that will be created will be actually a mountable drive, okay, which I can just click and mount that artifact as a drive over here, like C drive, D drive. We can mount that as an E drive, let's say. And it will really easy then to kind of investigate, okay, what all files are there and what not. Okay. And maybe you can also utilize FTK imager or let's say NKS software to mount that VHDX file and let it work for you. So I will suggest is that guys, whenever you can kind of utilizing the key, always try to utilize this VHDX file. Okay, it will create the, so when we will be kind of looking at the FTK imager, we will be kind of seeing that in action. Okay, so VHDX file is something kind of quite important. And the good part is that this base image.zip actually has that cape artifact trace in the .vhdx format. Okay, and that can be easily mounted as a drive, or let's say easily mounted on any of the software like FTK or let's say NKS or Axiom software. Okay. So one other thing that I normally use is that, let's say, for real incident, when I can't, let's say, for a real incident, let's say for this one, the one that we are investigating, we were discussing yesterday. Okay. So for this one, let's say for a case that, okay, the case was something that, okay, the data exfil was in progress, and we suspect that employee is doing some policy violation. They are doing the data exfil to that external IP address, and we want to execute cape on that system and gather certain basic artifact to do some analysis, but we don't want the employee to know that we are executing cape on his or her system to get certain file to our lab environment to do certain kind of analysis. Okay, so let's say we don't want the employee to know that we are executing cape on his or her system. In that case, we can never use this GUI version of the GCAP software. Okay, so that's, keep that thing in mind. So the only thing that we can do is that how we can use this GUI is that we don't need to remember the we don't need to remember this one, this argument over here, what argument goes to the cape. We can prepare the argument, let's say, at our end. And then what we will do is that, since, let's say, this system has an EDR, and EDR allows you to kind of execute certain command remotely on a system. So what we will do is that, using the EDR, what we will do is we will execute the cape software. We'll copy the cape.exe to the Windows system in a hidden folder, which the employee will not know about. And using that EDR tool, what we will do is that we will execute the cape in a hidden mode in the system of the employee, without letting the employee know that they're executing cape. Okay, so what we'll do is that sorry for that, excuse me once again. So what we'll do is that we'll utilize this argument. So let me do one thing. So I will just copy this command. Okay, I'll copy this command, and I will not use cape this time. And this time also, if you see, this one, VSS VHDX test GUI, and says that okay, everything will be deleted. Okay, so it's fine. Like, let's delete that thing, and it all fine. So let me do one thing. I will now go to the cape folder. So right now I am in the admin mode, if you see, and I will go to the cape folder, users, and CD desktop, CD cape, and dir. And if you see, we are there over now here. And cape.exe is existing in that folder. We are in this folder right now. Okay. And rather than executing cape, let's say we have somehow copied this cape folder in a hidden folder in the employee laptop, and that person doesn't know about. And this scenario, guys, you will be encountering a lot of time. Like, I have been encountering this a lot of time, where I need to investigate certain thing, and we don't want the employee to know about that. So in that case, using EDR, what I normally do is that I copy this file to the target system in a hidden folder, and then I execute the cape software in similar ways. Let's say, okay, let's see. Okay, so now you see that folder, that command has been copied. And what we'll do is that we'll remove this GUI, because we don't need the GUI options. And I also think is that we also don't need this dot slash in front. Okay, so now thing is that it will copy it will go to C drive. The destination is the Z drive cape artifact v1 folder. It will delete all the files before proceeding. The target, what these are the files that we are targeting, that we wanted to kind of, let's say, copy from the system. And what we also do is we remove the VSS, just to kind of execute this in a shorter amount of time. And we are creating a virtual drive with the name of test1. Okay, and we press enter, and this is how we will do that, using also the EDR tool. And I hope it works, and it should work. I think it shouldn't give any problem. Yeah, so it is executing, and what it is doing is, first of all, it is flushing all the data. It will flush all the data from here, and I hope this is gone. Yeah, if you see, everything is gone, and the new file has got created. And now what it is doing is that, so it is copying the log files now. Okay, there is only one file to copy, which is the MFT, and only two files, MFT and MCAS. So it should be able to do that quickly. Okay. So it should be done now, and copying log files. Okay, so anyways, let it run. And what we'll do is that we'll now go to the next topic. Let me just give me 1 second. Okay, and there is one